They said our neighborhood was safe. Perfect lawns, friendly smiles, a suburban dream. But nobody mentioned the unwritten rules. Rules the HOA enforces in ways you'd never believe. The quaint promise of Aspen Creek was its meticulously manicured appearance, a place where every blade of grass seemed to stand at attention, and every mailbox gleamed under the midday sun. It was the kind of place where neighbors exchanged polite nods, their smiles just a touch too wide, their eyes always seeming to observe more than they let on. Moving into this picture-perfect paradise, one couldn't help but feel a lingering unease, as if every resident was merely playing a part in a grand, meticulously staged performance, with an unseen director pulling the strings. And that director, the omnipresent force behind the curtain, was none other than Mr. Dalton, the HOA president. He was a man of impeccable manners and unsettling precision. His presence always felt, even when he wasn't physically there. He was the kind of individual who could make you feel scrutinized with just a glance, yet his politeness was so ingrained it almost felt like a weapon. "Oh, Mr. Dalton," neighbors would often sigh, a mixture of admiration and apprehension in their voices. "He knows everything." They weren't wrong. One unsettling evening, the usual calm of Aspen Creek was shattered for one new resident. Arriving home late, a palpable stillness hung in the air, heavier than usual. The porch light, which had been deliberately left on as a small rebellion against the neighborhood's forced uniformity, was inexplicably off. A prickle of unease turned into a jolt of fear as a dark shape emerged from the shadows. Not a person, but muddy boot prints stark against the pristine white of the porch, leading directly to the front door. The residents' hands trembled, a cold sweat breaking out as they slowly reached for the doorknob. Pushing it open, the interior of the home was bathed in an eerie silence, broken only by the soft click of the door closing behind them. And then he was there. Standing silently in the living room, a figure almost perfectly camouflaged by the dim light, was Mr. Dalton. His thinning brown hair was perfectly combed, his mustache impeccably trimmed, and his crisp polo shirt unblemished. He cut a silhouette of unsettling composure, a man entirely at ease in someone else's private space. Dangling casually from his finger like a trophy were the resident's own house keys. The air thickened with unspoken tension. A slow, unsettling smile spread across Mr. Dalton's face. A smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "The board doesn't like violations," he stated, his voice a low, even cadence that offered no room for argument. "We take care of things ourselves." The resident's gaze involuntarily dropped to the mantelpiece, where cherished family photos, moments of warmth and joy had been carefully, deliberately turned face down. It was a violation far more intimate than any unkempt lawn or unapproved paint color. It was a message, chilling in its clarity. "We know where you live, and we know who you are." Then Mr. Dalton leaned in, his whisper barely audible, yet resonating with an icy finality. "The locks don't matter when we already live inside the rules." The implication was terrifying, that the rules of Aspen Creek weren't just for the lawns and the facades, but for the very essence of its residents' lives. It suggested an unseen, pervasive control that transcended physical boundaries. The resident didn't linger to ponder the depths of Mr. Dalton's philosophy. Within a week, the house in Aspen Creek was empty, the dream of suburban tranquility replaced by a nightmare of invasive control. They had escaped, or so they thought. Life resumed, the chilling memory of Mr. Dalton gradually fading into the background, a strange anecdote from a brief, unsettling chapter. But then an innocuous envelope appeared at their new address. No return name, no stamp, just 6 words, written neatly across the page. A chilling echo from a past they desperately tried to forget. "Welcome back to Aspen Creek." The words weren't a greeting. They were a chilling declaration. A reminder that some rules once encountered might follow you wherever you go.